students. In the previous clip, we started reading chapter Shah Abdul Latif, and we have read half of the chapter, and today we are going to complete this chapter. So before reading, let's recapitulate what we have read in the previous class. So we have read that Islam is the religion of peace, and the noble example of the Prophet, peace be upon him, has been followed by many of his followers. And in these followers, there is the name of Shah Abdul Latif, who was a great saint of sin, And Shah Abdul Latif was born in 1102 Hijrah or 1689 AD in a small village of Sindh, Hala Haveli. His ancestors migrated from Herat to Sindh, and he started composing poetry in very young age. He was a scholar of Arabic and Persian, and at the age of 20, he got married to a noble lady. But after his father's death, he started living on a mound of sand. And a mound of sand is known as Bhet in Sindhi. That is why he has been famous. He is famous as Shah Abdul Latif Itai all over the country. So now come to the book. Let's read the chapter. So girls, let's start reading. You also open your books and start reading with me. As days passed, Latif's love of God grew more and more until he found pleasure only in devotion and spent most of his time in prayer and deep thinking. His spiritual power grew stronger with prayer and devotion, so much so that people began to be attracted towards him. Anyone who came to him was strongly impressed by his gentle ways, and his followers increased day by day. Close to the mound on which Lal Latif came to live is a natural lake. His poetic nature loved the calm atmosphere. He would spend much of his time sitting on the bank of this lake. As he sat there, he prayed to God and sometimes composed verses in his praise. So here we see we have read that as time passed, Latif's love of God increased more and more, and he found satisfaction only in worshipping God and in meditation. So his spirituality also enhanced. In result, people started to be inspired, to be attracted towards him. On the other hand, because of his kind attitude and behavior, his followers were increasing day by day. So near the mound where he lived, there was a natural lake. So he kept sitting there and worshiped God and also composed poetry in the admiration of God. Shah Latif was not a saint and a poet. Shah Latif was not only a saint and a poet, but also a musician. He found great comfort in music. His skill in this art enabled him to make many improvements and changes in the difficult music of his time. As in everything else, he loved simplicity in music and musical instruments. He did not agree with the idea that music should be difficult, so he made it simple. He also invented a simple musical instrument and called it tamburo. It was like an instrument used by the Arabs, but the number of strings was different. So to this day, the tamburo is popular all over Sindh. Old and young play it and sing the songs of Latif to its simple but moving tunes. So this paragraph tells us that Shah Latif was not only a saint and a poet. Until now we have read about him as a saint and as a poet, But he was also a musician and he got relaxation in music. But he didn't like difficult music. So he made music and musical instruments easy and simple. He also invented a musical instrument that is known as tamburo. This musical instrument is very popular in Sindh and people play it and sing the songs of Latif, poetry of Latif on it too. So, La Latif died in 1165 Hijra on the mount where he had lived and was buried there. A famous king of Sindh, Shah was so devoted to him that he built a shrine over his grave. Latif's devotees collected his poetry and this collection came to be called the Risalo of Shah Abdul Latif. He was a poet of the people, so he wrote poetry in the language of common man. This collection of his poems is so valued that it has been translated into many languages. One great quality of Latif's poetry, besides its simplicity, is its moving music. When you listen to it, even if you do not understand a word of it, you will be moved by its melody. La Latif died in 1165 Hijra. That is equivalent to almost 1752 AD. So note it girls that 1165 Hijra is equivalent to 1752 AD. 1752 AD. Note it. So he died on the same mount where he had spent his life and he was buried there too. So a famous ruler of Sindh, Shah was his great admirer. So he built a shrine, a tomb over his grave, and his poetry was collected by his devotees and also published by them and translated into many other languages. And the collection of his poetry is known as Risalo of Shah Abdul Latif or Shahju Risalo. Language of his poetry is common man language. Though his poetry is simple but very moving and inspiring, whether you understand the language or not, its rhythm, tempo and flow will attract you. So let's read more. Latif's Urs is held at his shrine every year on 14th Safar, the second month of the Muslim calendar. Many thousands of people gather, listen to the saints' songs sung on the tamburo and offer their prayers. Many learned men read papers that tell about Latif's life and his poetry. Recently, a library, a rest house and a museum have been built. The shrine itself has been rebuilt and connected with the main road. Its lovely white dome representing the purity and dignity of Latif can be seen from many kilometers. So, Urs is actually a congregational gathering of devotees at the shrine of some saint. So, Urs of Latif is also celebrated by his devotees every year on 14th Safar. 14th Safar, Safar is the second month of Hijra calendar, Muslim calendar. And a lot of people gather at his shrine and perform rituals of Urs. Some conferences and seminars are also arranged at this time. And many educated and learned people, means many scholars, read their articles on the life of Latif and on his poetry. It is to note that his shrine has been rebuilt with its dignified dome which can be seen from many kilometers, and a library, a rest house and a museum have also been built for the visitors. So come to the last paragraph. Latif's message is the message of love. He believed in the brotherhood and equality of man, and in pleasing God by good deeds. This, according to him, is the goal of life. So you can read, this is the message of Latif. So this is the message of actually Islam. The message of Islam is the message of love, brotherhood and equality. And this is the message of a true follower of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Latif believed in pleasing God by doing good deeds. So this was the aim of life. This was the objective of life according to him. So girls, the chapter ends here with this beautiful message. Now let's move towards the board. So we could see that what new words we have read in this chapter. So the first word here is spiritual. Spiritual is adjective and it means divine, holy, and Urdu meaning is ruhani. And the next word is impressed. Impressed is also an adjective and it means admired, influenced. Urdu meaning is mutasir. The next word is poetic. Poetic is adjective and it means artistic, creative, and in some sense sensitive. And Urdu meaning is shairana. Praise. Praise is a verb as well as a noun. And but in our chapter it has come as a noun. And if we take it as a verb, it means admire. And if noun, so admiration. Admiration in term of worship, as we read in the chapter. And Urdu meaning is tareef karna, but if we take as noun, so tareef bayan karna. So strings. String is a noun and it means cord or wire. Tar. Grave. Grave is also a noun. We can say that its meaning is tomb. Urdu meaning is qabr. Melody. Melody is also a noun and it means tune, music, dhun, ya mausiqiyat. So according to the chapter, this word is learned. And learned is an adjective and it means well educated and Urdu meaning is alim. But if we take it as a verb, so then it will be pronounced as learned. That is the second form of learn. Learned, learned, or learned. It is accepted in both the ways. So if it is a verb, then it means to study. And Urdu meaning is seekna. The next word is dome. Dome is a noun and English meaning is a vault or a rounded roof with a circular base. And Urdu meaning is gumbad. The next word is purity. Purity is also a noun and it means morality, goodness, pakizgi. The next word is dignity. Dignity is a noun and it means nobility, honorability, waqar, izzat, shan. So the last word here is goal. Goal is a noun and it means aim, objective, target, and in some meaning and to. And Urdu meaning is maqsad. So this chapter has been completed here. Inshallah in the next class we will do the exercise of RTC. Till then, take care.